Okay, hi guys, I'm Gabriel here, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to park. So here I'm inside of my parents' XC60 that they lease. So this is technically not our car, and we're going to be teaching you how to park in a sense for the purpose of your driving test. So if you have to do the straight-in parking or any parking maneuver for your driving test, this video is for you. So without further ado, let's get the car started. And let me go back out of the space because I am in the parking space, and you likely are going to get this maneuver on your driving test, and you're likely going to have cones right next to the parking spaces, like if you got two cars parked right next to you. So the first thing, I'm going to back out of the space, and you should be looking straight back here. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully my mom is not looking at this. So in the test, if you have to do the backing up, they don't want you looking at the camera or the rear view mirror. So yes, I did have to look back, because in your driving test that my sister has to take, they're gonna make you look back when you're backing out of the space. So now let's get to the driving portion on how to park. So it's going to be a video. I'm not gonna keep this so long. I'm gonna keep it very obnoxiously long, but let's get it started. So I'm on the speed bumps now, and let's get it going. So parking, so again, you're gonna have a scenario where you have to park in between the cones, and again, they're not gonna allow you to use a camera on the test. So, and ignore that seatbelt alarm, that is my mom not putting on her seatbelt, so that thing is going to be annoying unless she puts it on. And before I get anybody in the comments saying why is nobody wearing their seatbelt, that's what's happening. So now we're going to find a place to park. So, and again, if you have to do the reverse parking, this is not going to be for this video. This will be in another video if I can. And that's only if, and the reason why I'm not doing the reverse parking, because number one, my state does not require it, but for certain states that require it, Georgia is one example state that requires it. The first thing we need to do is, enough talking, is you're gonna line the mirror next to that car. So the first thing we need to do is, I'm gonna open my window so I can show you. This is the mirror, and see that mirror right there? I don't know if the camera's pointing, but this has to line. And as soon as we, and I don't know what's wrong with that. This is a Chrysler 300. Don't forget to put the turn signal, very important. And don't just ignore, that's the auto stop start. A lot of newer cars have that. And you're gonna slowly get into the space and make sure you do it slowly and carefully, because as soon as you get into the space, you're gonna straighten the wheel, immediately straighten the wheel, and bam. I'm gonna repeat this one more time. As soon as you get into the space, you're gonna straighten the wheel. When you're 50% in the space, you're gonna straighten the wheel. And that is pretty much how you park inside the space. And but here's a tip: if you have an SUV like a Chevy Suburban or something like that, now because of using a 2025 Volvo XC60, the mirror has to be in line before the space, not the line, because I would end up hitting that car, and you don't want that. So and that's how you're supposed to do it. So now disengage the parking brake and put it back in reverse. Now let me straighten the wheel, and then we get reversing. So always looking, because in the test they don't want you looking at the camera, because and don't worry, we'll blur you out in the video so nobody has to see you. And you could see, again, the test, you would not be able to use the camera, so make sure that you're looking back, and put it back on drive. We'll do another example in another parking. Make sure I don't want to hit that, because we would have to pay if nobody pays attention. So we're gonna do the same thing that I'm doing here, but this time we're gonna do a right hand parking. This was the left hand parking. Now we're gonna do the same thing but to the right. Oh, sorry. So now, sorry, excuse that car over there. I don't know where that car is gonna move, but let me see what we can do here and we get away from that car. See what you're gonna do. Let me see what you're gonna do. Let me just move somewhere here. It looks like an electric car to me. Is it gonna let me go or okay? So let's see. I'm just taking proper precautions. Let me go find a way to park. Sorry about that. So again, we're gonna find another space. Now again, the goal is that you want to start with no cars next to you, and then when you build the confidence, like I did here, I want to try parking next to that Lexus over here. So the key is this: you're gonna signal and make sure again the mirror has to be lined before the space, because this is an SUV. Again, the mirror has to be touching next to the space, and so make sure you're gonna turn gradually as you enter the space and do it slowly so you don't hit. And here's a tip: if you're driving something like a Tahoe or a Suburban, you could back up the car so you don't end up hitting that car. So make sure you back it up a bit, and then don't forget the right turn signal, and then you could slowly get into the space slowly, but do not forget to straighten the wheel. I don't think when they hit it, so and this is the problem that a lot of people have, because they'll test with an SUV, and this is the mistake that people make. So yes, right hand parking is I'm trying not to hit it. I'm not gonna hit it, right? Okay, let me see. So if you have an SUV like this, you're gonna have to back it up a bit. So you see, right now this is not a good one, but I'm trying to not hit the space. And getting this. See, you're gonna make really minor adjustments so you don't get inside. And again, if you have an SUV like a Tahoe, this will be ideal. And again, trying to look back here. So yeah, this will be your ideal time if you are parking in the space. And now we can try parking. And this wasn't really a good one, but we'll keep practicing. Let me just make sure I'm not hitting that. The car's warning me I can't touch there. Okay, I'm trying my best not to hit it. So again, you never want to be hitting the cars, but did I touch something?
You're going to brake.
I know. So yes, so yes, of course, according to the camera, that is not the best way I parked there, but that's to show you that an SUV is not going to be your ideal vehicle for your driving test. If you're going to use an SUV, don't ever try to get something like a Tahoe, because it is not
the park is on.
Going to be. Yes, I know. And again, SUVs are not the most ideal vehicle to park, and I'm telling you. So we're gonna try this again. That car knows it has to stop. So let me get there out first. So now we can go. So go around the space, and we're gonna continue finding more parking spaces to go. Make sure I'm not hitting those people, because I don't want to get a multi-million-dollar lawsuit because I striked at a person. So let's continue driving around, and I will be editing this video. Hopefully this video comes out good, because let me see. Now this could be a lot more easier to park. The first one was pretty good, and okay, let's just find another car to park. So So let's continue finding a car to park. Again, the left-hand parking, you know, sorry about the hydroplaning part. It was raining on the car. I don't know, what is that car doing that? What is that Kia doing there? Okay, I mean, just park right next to that. Okay, I know we can park there, but we'll do a 3-point turnaround there, and we'll, okay, now to show you that we can park, we'll find another space so I can demonstrate the another left-hand parking. Now, just to show you one more time how this, just to refreshing yourself in case you have forgotten it, because the second part, this was to demonstrate the common mistakes that people do on the driving test. Okay, we already done that one. Let's do this one with that gray Accord. So again, if you have an SUV like I'm doing right now, the goal is you have to make sure, I'm gonna say this one more time, and of course there's people walking by, but I have to blur these faces out. YouTube has a feature that you could blur their faces out so none of them gets on the video, but you could see the mirror. Make sure this is line next to the line. You're gonna have the signal on, and then you're going to do this. As soon as you're about to get into the space. Again, now an SUV is a bit difficult because you have all this crazy. Again, I do not recommend trying an S. I don't think I'm gonna hit it. Again, if you have an SUV such as a Tahoe, you're likely are going to have to back up, or especially if you got a full-size SUV, because these are a pain in the butt to park. See, I think we got it. Now we're going to, oh, sorry about that. I think this is giving me irritants. Now park and let's check our doors. If you see that you could, if you see that the line is like this, if you could open your doors and you could touch, and your doors don't touch the line, meaning, and I mean, if your doors don't touch the other cars, then you know that you know that you're within the line. So that's a pro tip I want to tell you. Your doors, you gotta make sure you can open them, and it's not gonna strike another vehicle, and you know it's not gonna scratch. So, and I hope this helps you. The first one was perfect. The second one will be a commonly known mistake that people would do on their driving test. In fact, we'll go demonstrate that what is the most common reason that people fail the parking maneuver, and we'll get that in a second. So let me back out of the space as a bonus tip. Let me go back out, and okay, this is the most common reason that why people fail the driving test. And before I end this video, I am going to show you a bonus tip that people will do and why they fail the driving test. Because here in the state of Florida, you would have these cones that you have to not hit on the driving test. So, and sorry, I'll have to turn signal on, but you would, excuse that, I did not mean to do that. But yes, here's the number one reason. Unless you're doing this to park, if you're on the other side of the road for absolutely no reason, that is an automatic fail on the test. But unless you're doing that for the straight-in parking, then that's different. Here's the most commonly known reason that people fail their test. They assume they're gonna park, right? But if they are about to hit that car, I mean, if you're doing this, yeah, you're definitely gonna fail the driving test. Because what I was about to do is, I was about to hit that car. And yes, that was not the proper way to park. So if I was gonna park there, I was about to hit the car, and that's not good. So remember the idea, and if you parking like that, you would have hit the cones, and that is an automatic fail on any driving test in the state. So let me go park real quick, and I'll conclude this video. And that is a bonus thing I wanted to give you, because a lot of people do struggle with that, with the straight-in parking, and then end up back on the DMV parking slot on the starting portion, and then hear the 2 words of terror: you failed the exam, because of that reason that I told you. they end up hitting the cones, and that is the reason why they fail. And I'm gonna go back out of the space a bit because this is not good. So let me just get this moved. I'm just adjusting the wheel, and then I'm going to end the video right over there. Let that Tesla passed, because Tesla's right in the way, and I'm going to end the video just for you guys with a really just looking at the camera for my safety. But you should never rely on your backup camera or your mirrors. Your best option of defense is to do the three things: look back, and your mirror and camera. Never rely on your camera alone. And again, that's why I'm telling you that SUVs are a pain in the butt for your driving test. And then we can just safely get into the space, and boom. And I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like it, comment and subscribe, and peace out. Hopefully this helps you on passing your driving test if your state requires to do the straight-in parking. For example, Florida is one of them that require you to do the straight-in parking between the cones. And hopefully this does help you alleviate confusion. Hope this helps, and you have a great day, and peace out.